up ahead on road cops. He's throwing projectiles at the police. Ooh, but how far will he go?
Lie down on the ground, mate. Lie down. Lie down on the ground.
A truck careers off the road. Things get tense at the station. And leaking leftovers
Looks like lunch to me.
turned into chowder chunder.
Okay, New Zealand, hold your breath.
Several members of the public have called 111 reporting a man breaking windows and threatening violence in the streets. As Constable Chris Polglaze arrives on scene, he spots a half-naked, agitated man on the side of the road.
There we go.
But he's been spotted too. The man quickly returns to his house, grabs an object and advances towards Chris.
Ooh.
The man is threatening serious trouble. Chris needs backup.
Come staying on. Another unit, he's just throwing something at the car.
Constable Wilf Pulvas arrives and advances beside the patrol car, but the man is undeterred and charges down the pair of them.
You got a taser, Wolf?
Hurry up, man!
Lie down on the ground, mate. Lie down on the ground, mate. Lie down. Lie down on the ground, mate.
The erratic and confrontational behaviour is putting him and the officers at risk. Out on the highway, Constable Martin Hawkins is trying to catch up to a truck that is spilling a very smelly load.
Member publics called in front of this vehicle, heavy vehicle up in front, leaking some form of sludge out the back of it. So we're going to go and have a chat, see exactly what this sludge is. Hopefully it's nothing too disgusting. Yeah, certainly getting something coming out. It's all going over my window. And that doesn't amuse me.
The truck is unmistakable, and there's something fishy going on.
Oh, let's go to this. Phew, it stinks. Whew. Hey, bud, what
I
are
just
you?
got a lot of liquid stuff in there at the moment. It must be just started.
What is that?
It's awful.
I was going to say, it ain't looking too good.
Truckee Meter has travelled over 100 k's with the load his truck can't handle.
Look how much you're leaking out. It's going everywhere.
My seal's only come up so far.
It's not the right vehicle for the job then, is it?
That's an understatement. Meter could be facing a $2,000 fine. In town, Constable Will Hamilton has spotted a driver speeding through the back streets.
So I've just detected this at 69k an hour in a 50k zone. He's pulling into a driveway. Hello. Good, and you?
The speed drew Will's attention, but the problems don't end there for Corbin, who doesn't have a valid licence.
You ever been disqualified? It's forbidden or suspended or anything like that, have you?
Yeah.
Are you still disqualified or are you? Why are you driving?
Because I was just bringing it back here. I just got it back from this house because he changed all my wheels.
Yeah.
That was not the right answer.
You're getting on a treadmill of being disqualified and suspended again. It just doesn't end. Your hat says it all.
Corbin doesn't need a hat to drop the F-bomb.
What can you say?
There's only one thing to be said.
So at this stage you're under arrest for driving while disqualified? Okay. So unfortunately I will be taking the car. Okay.
Back on the highway, Martin's dealing with a truck filled with tons of fish sludge that's leaking everywhere.
Looks like lunch to me.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips, indeed. Now, is that classed as obviously a hazardous material or not really? Just
It's blood and bone. You just turn it into fertiliser.
Yeah.
So it's good for the environment.
Not at the moment, it's not, Meter.
In the right circumstance.
Yeah, it's got to get processed, like cooked right.
Martin retreats a safe distance,
Something fishy going on there.
but doesn't seem fazed by the offal.
That don't even stink. That was good as. No, that means nothing.
The $600 fine for spilling fish slime everywhere is just the start of Meter's problems. He's been slack filling out his logbook, and the bill's adding up.
Let's do a quick check for alcohol. In case it's driven you to drink.
It does now. Thirsty ass.
Meters resisted the urge to drown his sorrows, but the risk of more fish spilling onto the road convinces Martin to send him the short distance to the factory.
Sorry about that, bro.
All right, buddy. You take care.
Hey, everyone.
Basically, it's leaking out on the road. It needs to be in a secure container that's sealed, not back of a wagon that's just going to leak everywhere.
Back in town, Corbyn's facing losing his car for a month after Will spotted the disqualified driver speeding.
Carms H17, could I have a impound tow to my 3T location, thanks?
It's the third time Corbyn's been caught, and it seems he isn't learning the lesson.
Fortunately for him, this becomes a different charge and the stakes go up, so it's the third and subsequent charge of driving while disqualified. Penalties are pretty much double.
The panel beat has spent his last few evenings giving the car a shiny new paint job and is gutted to lose it so quickly.
2.5 days, bro. 2.5 days. Started at 7, finished at 5, then I done my car till 1 o'clock Saturday morning, got home 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. Started back on it, 9 o'clock in the morning. Finished at 8 o'clock next night.
The budding relationship will have to go on hold because the tow truck's just arrived.
Oop, a little tricky. That was fast.
As Corbyn discovers, parting is such sweet sorrow.
Damn!
Meanwhile, Martin's heading to a new emergency that seems all too familiar.
Just had reports that a truck has lost its load on State Highway 1. That's just north of where we just stopped that awful vehicle. And you never know, it could be that one. Yeah, I know it. That's our man.
It's our man, and it's a mess.
You thought it smelled bad last time. Now it's going to smell really awful.
Traffic's backed up behind a mound of rotting fish.
Yeah, we're going to need a big clean-up crew here. It's all over the road. OK, New Zealand, hold your breath.
Just around the corner on Road Cops, trying to contain a volatile situation.
Lie down on the ground. I'm not lying down.
And disaster on the road.
She was swinging back and forwards. Man, freaked me out.
Tons of fish offal is spread over State Highway 1, but Martin still hasn't located the truck that caused the horrific sight.
There's a lot of fish guts everywhere. Northbound lane, people are just going through it very slowly. Woo!
Martin stopped driver Meter earlier, but the fishy leak has now become an unstoppable stream.
Hey, bud. Didn't make it.
Just popped open and freaked me out. She was swinging back and forwards. Man.
The truck fishtailed, pouring the bounty of the sea all over the road. Meter was lucky he didn't end up sleeping with the fishes.
I just looked in the mirror and I could just see my trailer starting to bloody snake all over the place, and then I nearly jackknife where their markers when it come off the road, and so I just had to slowly just pull over and just let it think. Glad I'm still in one piece. Oh, everybody else is in one piece too, so.
The Waikato's roads have seen a fair few bad spills, and avid Road Cops fan Meter is reminded of one incident with big similarities.
They left like a nice trail on the road.
It was a different day, different mess, but an equally bad smell.
What is it?
Biosolids.
Is it human waste or what?
Yeah.
Is it human waste?
Yeah.
Truckies all have the same thing to say when the waste product hits the fan.
Yeah, you'd have to say happens.
It happens.
The initial adrenaline rush has subsided, leaving Meter to contemplate the big mess.
How much tonnage, litres?
That'd be at least a couple of ton there, yeah. 2-3 ton. Oh, the way it's spread out. A couple of ton at least, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably looking 2 to 3 tonnes worth of fish guts and offal all over the road.
Roger.
Vehicle wheels are fast turning the fish heads into slippery sludge. They have to clean the mess off the road before there's an accident.
Got a shovel?
No. There's all the fishermen's when I want them.
A shirtless man has hurled a projectile at Chris's police car.
Ooh.
The agitated man seems determined to take on police.
No, lie down on the ground, we'll put you in cuffs.
I'm not lying down.
The man seems relieved as the handcuffs go on.
Okay, you're under arrest, okay? You understand that?
How many years can I go for doing assault on a police officer? I want to go to jail so I can get away from her.
Just relax, man.
Oliver threw a microphone through a window during an early morning argument that now involves the police.
What did you throw at the car?
Lighter.
Lighter, what did you throw that at the car for?
So I can get charges done on me, so I can get away from her.
Well, I don't need the charges on you, mate. This is like silly.
A walk around the block might have done the job better than time in the cells.
By the sound of it, they've both woken up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. They've had a bit of a domestic between the two of them.
Oliver was convicted of willful damage and ordered to pay $285.75 in reparation for the broken window. In town, the towies turned up to take disqualified driver Corbyn's car, and it's breaking his heart.
She goes alright. She goes not too bad, bro.
She's gone, and it's like he's lost a limb.
I've just put my heart and soul into that car, bro, and
Corbyn's already suffering separation anxiety, but the disqualified driver should be worrying about his court date.
when's that next week?
Next what?
Next week.
Next week.
Next week, yeah.
Next week.
Oh, come on.
Next year.
Oh, next year?
Yeah.
Come on. You could have made it earlier.
Unfortunately for Corbyn, the fines are instant.
All right.
Not really, but keep it on the chin, eh?
You kind of have to. I don't go and get myself disqualified.
Yeah, well, you're a clever guy, you know.
Like I say, what does the hat say?
You want to say it?
No.
You've said the F-bomb enough for everyone, Corbyn.
All right. See you fellas later. Be good.
Yeah, you be good too.
I have to. It's my job to be good.
He won't have a licence for a long time, but Corbyn only cares for his car.
Hopefully get my car back. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I don't care if I pay thousands for it to get it back, as long as I get it back.
Unfortunately for him, he's now drove while disqualified, third or subsequent, which raises the stakes a bit in terms of penalty and the sentence that gets handed down to him. So, yeah, not a good day for him.
Corbyn pleaded guilty to driving whilst disqualified, third or subsequent, and was sentenced to 150 hours community work. He was also fined for no evidence of current vehicle inspection, private vehicle $200, drove vehicle with temporary exemption from continuous licensing $150, and exceeded 50 km per hour posted speed limit $120 and 20 demerits. Constable Chris Polglaze is back out on patrol and has just witnessed some bad driving.
I've seen this car come flying out of the side road. I've almost lost it coming around the corner. I imagine that'd be well over the limit. Yeah, bud.
Hello.
Get your driver's licence here.
The driver's stuffing breath mints in his mouth like they're going out of fashion.
Anything to drink tonight?
I've had 2 beers.
Had 2 beers?
I think so, yeah.
Ethan's a bit hazy on the amount of booze he's drunk.
All good.
So that's indicating over 400, which indicates it's over their limit.
Okay.
Jump in the car for us, mate.
Ethan's reluctant to leave the car without the secret weapon he thinks will fool the breath test.
So mints aren't going to help you now, there.
Right. I want to use mints, but I mean,
Well, what do you got in your hand there, bud?
what mints?
The driver and his mate were ejected by police from a pub earlier for threatening violence to other patrons. Now Ethan is keen to boast about his fighting prowess.
Booking people out. I love booking people out. I love it.
He's indicated over 400, and I'd say we'll be pushing probably double that.
Just over, maybe even 100.
I'll put
I think you'll,
put a wager on around the 800 mark.
oh, get out of here.
You're welcome.
The banter quickly becomes a standoff as Ethan makes walking through a door a test of macho pride.
Come on in, just pop around to your left there.
What would you do?
Chris isn't having any of it.
Where you go? What's it going to be?
Just around the corner on Road Cops, the delay tactics
Are you lying to me? No, go that way. Are you lying to me?
go too far.
Don't be silly, mate.
And bad smell, worse puns.
Bit of a fishy story. Doesn't smell quite right.
It's shameful.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
A truck's broken its safety locks and spilt fish guts all over the highway. Martin's gathering evidence downwind while he waits for the cleanup crew to arrive.
Hope we get rid of all this fish oil and guts off the road because it's not a pleasant smell. And it's also going to make it very slippery, so you can almost guarantee there'll be a crash here later on if something's not done soon. Whew. Let's go further down, it stinks this side.
The smell's sickening, and sometimes the only way to keep a clear head is to think of puns that stink even worse.
Bit of a fishy story, doesn't smell quite right, but it's not too awful, I guess. Gutted.
Meters trying to put the spill into perspective.
Yeah, no, I don't feel too good. It's shameful.
It's the sort of shame that never washes out.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
The cavalry have arrived, but removing all 2 tonne will take time. Meters secured the rest of the offal in his truck, and he's keen to get on his way.
Safe journey.
Fish heads are easy to get rid of, but the oils will remain on the road for some time.
It's going to be put down to a 50k speed limit with slippery signs.
Meter was fined for insecure load, $600. Logbook containing 1 to 5 emissions, $150 and 120 demerits. The company was charged $14,000 in cleanup fees. Meanwhile, Senior Constable Warren Watts has arrived at a crash site where a truck's plunged down a bank, crashed through a fence and come to a stop in a paddock, but the driver is nowhere to be seen.
Right, let's go take a look. Hey, how you going?
Witness Sam was the first to arrive at the crash site.
I was following him.
Yeah. And then you turned left down to there?
Yeah.
It doesn't look quite where he's supposed to be.
No.
There were no obstacles, no oncoming cars, and no conceivable reason the truck should end up ploughing into the field.
Right.
Constable Chris Johnston arrives and finds truck driver Laurie.
I coughed. I just attend and then
Coughed.
just a
Skidded.
And you coughed and went a bit far.
Laurie's blaming a sneezing fit.
Hay fever. Right. Like this.
That would be an extreme loss of control, and Warren's not convinced. In the station, Ethan's reluctance to walk through a door has become a contest of wills with Chris. But it's the alleged drunk driver who breaks first.
Let's go then, let's go. Follow me, let's go.
After you.
I'm going, come with me.
Chris manages to get Ethan into the room, but the driver's attempts at intimidation are not over yet.
You took my whole that's it.
The thinly veiled threats don't sidetrack Chris, but finding enough breath is challenging for Ethan.
Well, that's like how much breath come in. That's like a million. That's like heaps, man.
The test took it out of Ethan, but the procedure's not over yet.
Right, so exactly. You test again?
Why?
Because it takes the two readings and takes the lowest of the two readings.
What's that reading?
It's not going to tell us until it's printed out.
Well, you tell me what's printed out, then I'll buy another one.
That's not how it works.
If this time's out, it'll be an incomplete test, and then we're required to do a blood test.
Back in the paddock, Laurie's getting over the shock of losing control of his truck and careering down a steep bank.
Of course scare. You think you drive from there to there, you don't scare? And now I'm not happy.
The plumber claims the accident was caused by a hay fever attack.
Just from a flower.
But Warren's inspection of the tyre marks reveals another story.
There's only one problem. There are marks up there to indicate that he's obviously been braking pretty hard. It's almost like the guy just, give way! And then he just popped down there. Yeah, lucky enough the guy didn't do any damage to himself or a truck, so he was able to drive it down the farmer's driveway.
Laurie was warned for careless driving and ordered to pay for the damages to the fence. Back in the station, the breath test machine has timed out and the result of Ethan's one complete sample is well over.
So the result of your test is an incomplete test?
No, what's my first test?
851 was your first test.
Oh, get out of here. No way, I haven't drinking that much.
Ethan wants a second opinion from a lawyer and has very specific requirements.
I'd like to speak to a female, thank you.
Tonight's lawyer roster doesn't include any females, and Ethan isn't happy.
Are you sexist? I asked to speak to a female lawyer. Is that right?
The lawyer might have a solution.
He said, would you like to talk to him or do you want him to put on a high-pitched voice for you?
I'll speak to her in person.
Last chance to talk to him.
The chance isn't taken. Ethan retreats into an interview room and refuses to come out.
I am waiting for a female lawyer.
Come, jump down, mate. We're going to go back down to that room from where we were before.
It takes several officers to get him on the move, but Ethan decides to resist every step of the way.
Are you lying to me?
No, go that way.
Are you lying to me?
Come on.
Just don't look at me like that.
Don't be silly, mate.
Ethan's required to give a sample of his blood, but he's not in the mood to cooperate.
Do you consent to the taking of a specimen of blood?
Oh, that's a little bit funny, isn't it?
Do you
Well,
consent
no,
to
I
the
don't.
taking?
I don't.
You're now under arrest for refusing blood.
The drunk driver will be spending the night in the cells to sober up, and he'll be facing reality in the morning.
He's much better off being in the cells there than being out on the road a hazard to other people, because in that state and his driving ability, and he'd only hurt himself, his passenger or other people on the road.
Ethan pleaded guilty to refuse officers' request for blood and was fined $600 plus $130 court costs and received 6 months disqualification from driving. On our next patrol,
Oh, look at that.
he's the one doing the dangerous high speeds.
Sorry, darling.
So why is she in trouble?
You are under arrest.
A truck driver whacks a police car.
Look at that, mate. Look at that.
And can this guy rap his way out of trouble?
I got the plugs, man, with the road cops. I'm straight hip-hop, because I ain't gonna stop.
And a final word from Constable Nick Rennell.
Be alert and be safe.